All right. Yeah, welcome to be here. It's good to have you. As you come in, just say hello in the chat. Okay. All right. So we'll start in the next 2 minutes, so we can give opportunity to other people that want to join us. Okay. Have you invited your friend? Well, have you invited other parents around you? Don't get this knowledge alone. Don't get this knowledge alone. Don't get this knowledge alone. Let it extend to other people. So send the link, this discussion, send it to others, send it to others around you. All right, so in the next few seconds, we are going to start. Are you ready? Are you excited to be here? Okay, so I can see good to be here. It's great to be here. Hello. Okay, all right. So it's good to have us coming in with a lot of energy. Yes, and it is 7 minutes past 7. We start right away. And our topic today. So let somebody tell us what is our topic. Let me see if we actually know why we are here. What is our topic? I'll be in the chat. Why are we here today? What are we discussing today? Can anybody tell us? Let's see just one person think why we are here, what we are here to discuss. Do we know the topic we are here for? I've not seen any response. We're going to be here for like 1 hour, so let's try and manage our time. Are we saying that we don't know the topic of this discussion? Are we saying we don't know the topic of this discussion? Or we are having network issues? Okay, so I can't see anybody's comments. I hope we are still here. Okay, somebody says how to deal with children's temperament. Thank you so much. How to deal with children's temperament. That is exactly why we are here today. That is what we are here to discuss today. How to deal with children's temperament. And of course, we are talking about children. So we are going to be starting by understanding who a child is. So I would like to ask us, who do you think a child is? Let me see. It's going to be an engaging session. It's going to be an interesting class. So be ready. Be ready to be a part of this class. If you know you have a child, if you know you have been engaging with your child, you should be ready to answer some of the questions that we'll be putting out tonight. So, who do we think a child is? Who is a child? Who is a child? To you, who is a child? To you that you are here today, who is a child? Whether you have a child or you are still hoping to have one, or you have children around you, it is important that you actually understand who a child is. If you don't understand who a child is, it will be difficult to actually help the child. It will be difficult to be able to deal with the child's temperament. So, who is a child? Who has an idea who a child is? Who is your child? Who is your child? So, you don't have to look at any big definition. Who does a child mean to you? Who does a child mean to you? As you see children on the road, I'm sure some of us that have been at the worship centers today, we have seen a lot of children, we have come across children. Some people have even interacted with children. So, who is a child to you? In your interactions with children, what can you say about a child? What kind of understanding do you have about a child? Let's see if we even know who a child is. Let's see. Who do we think a child is? When we understand who a child is, it will be easy for us to understand how to manage the child. Okay, so I will just be going straight into it. A child is a person. It's so interesting. A child is a person. A child is a person. Just like an adult is a person. A child is an entity just like you and me. There's nothing that makes them different from us. There is nothing that makes them different from us. They are a person. They have worth. They are able to reason. And in fact, some children can reason well. They have a power of choice. They have a good sense of judgment. Have you ever had this kind of picture about your child before? Have you ever been able to see your child in this light, that your child has worth? Have you ever been able to do this? Or what you just see about your child is those issues that you complain about every day? Have you seen royalty in your child? Have you seen somebody? Can I still be heard? Can I still be heard? I've come across a lot of parents that say, oh, my child is an easy child. Some children say my child is a difficult child. Some children say my child is a wicked child. I have seen a child wicked. I was touched that day because I never knew that somebody, a parent, a mother, or a father, can use their own mind, their own mouth to address their own child as wicked, just because of the kind of behavior, the kind of attitude, the kind of things that they see their children exhibit. Just conclude and say, this child, this girl is just a wicked girl. This boy is just a wicked boy. Why some will say, oh, I have an easy child. I have a calm child. I have a predictable child. I have a child that listens. Quite a number of us like children that are obedient. They just, when you say sit down, they just sit. They don't question your authority. When our children question our authority, we get triggered. Our emotions get triggered. So the perception that we have about a child is what will actually help us in relating with them. If you can still hear me, if you can still hear me, if you are following, let me see you in the comments. Say yes, you can hear me, you are following, you are still here, and you are getting value. So some children have been labeled a lot of things. Some children are predictable, some are calm. Some children approach issues in a more positive way, while other children actually have more challenging traits. Some children have issues managing their emotions. Okay, I can still be heard. Yes, 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 thank you. Some children have issues managing their emotions. Some children have issues managing their time. Some children have issues managing stress. The good thing is that every child has what is unique about them. Every single child that we have seen has one thing that is unique about them. So today we are looking at how to understand our children's temperament. Before we even talk about our children's temperament, let's talk about ourselves. What is temperament? What do we even know as temperament? When we talk about temperament, we're talking about emotional style for our children, for ourselves, how we adapt our emotions to different situations. The same way you as an adult is trying to adapt yourself to different situations around you, different circumstances, is the same way these children are also trying to figure it out. Right now, you see a lot of parents say, "Oh, Nigeria is tough. Nigeria is tough already. Don't even stress me." You don't even know that that toughness is also being impacted on your child. It affects the way your child even sees issues, sees life. But you just think that you are the one going through the issues. You are the only one going through the situations. And that is why my coach normally says parenting is first about you. When you understand yourself, it will be a seamless journey understanding your wife, understanding your child. Permit me, understanding your child. So children are born with their own temperaments. Just like I said, a child is a person. Remember, if you are not taking anything out from here, take this number one thing. A child is a person. Yeah, people of what? They have good reasoning capacity. They have a power of choice. They have a good sense of judgment. Yes, I can see you said you can hear me. Thank you for hearing me. So children are naturally born with their temperaments. It's a innate inbuilt quality that is usually modified by different experiences, different interactions with people around them, different situations, and starting from their immediate family members. Starting from their immediate family members. So it goes as far as that. And you know, children naturally pick up socialization. They naturally pick up socialization. Whatever you see with a child these days, when I come across a child and then you see the parents say, "Oh, this child is this," or you are complaining about one child, it's just a reflection of the kind of family that that child is coming from, because they naturally pick up socialization. What you see with children is as a result of the things they see with their own parents or their caregivers. There are some people, it is not their parents that actually cares for them. It is the house helps, it is the drivers, it is the home managers that cares for them. The parents are not even there. Maybe they are there weekends, yeah, but during the week, where the child exhibits a lot of behaviors, the parents are nowhere to be found. So the child will naturally pick the habits, the behavior of people around them, around their immediate environment. You know, children are like a wet cement. Wherever you touch them, you will leave a lasting impact on their life. So know that today, that whatever you are doing to a child, you are leaving a lasting impact. So for parents that naturally use negative words on their children, just know that you are forming the mindset of that child. You don't even know how to do anything. That child would believe that, oh, because my mom has said it, my mom is like an authority figure in my life. For her to have said, I don't know how to do anything, I cannot do anything, it means that I would not be able to do it. There is nothing somebody else outside can say that would affect that child, because you, as a primary parent, the immediate family member of that child, you have already made a conclusion. So when you understand the different temperaments, it will help you to better understand your child. So the most important in the equation is to understand your own temperament as a parent. To understand your own temperament. So I would like to ask at this point, how many of us are, intentional about understanding ourselves? So if I'm to ask now, how many of us know our temperaments? Let me check in the chat. Let me see how many people know their temperaments. How many of us know our temperaments? Okay, I'm reading. How many of us know our temperaments? Do you know your temperament as a parent? You want to help your own child. You want to help your child to manage their temperament. Do you even know yourself? Do you know your own temperament? Let's start with that. How many of us? None of us is responding. It means that nobody knows themselves. Is that what you are trying to say? Should I just take it like that? That is because we don't even know ourselves. That's why we are not responding. Are we still here? Are we still here? I'm not getting any response in the chat. Does it mean that we are not here? Do we know ourselves? Do we know our temperament? So our inability to answer this question is also a sign of our temperament. It's also a sign. We're all trying to play safe. I don't know my temperament, oh, and I'm actually being shy to say it. That's the kind of picture that we're painting. So it is important for us that we must understand the reason why we behave the way we do. Tim Lai wrote in the book, Why You Act the Way You Do. If you have not read that book, it is important that you read that book from now. It will help you as a mother, as a father, to understand why you act the way you do. When you understand yourself, then it will be easy to navigate in helping your child. When you don't even understand yourself, child, because most of us feel that our children just fell from the blues. Our children just fell from somewhere. We never knew that part of the things that form the temperament and the innate ability of a child is actually genetic in nature. It's genetic in nature. So part of the traits that your child is exhibiting today that you don't like, you also have it. So it is important for us to understand ourselves first, and it will help us to better understand our children. And of course, it will help us to appreciate their unique nature. It will help us. So let's look at the major characteristics that make up the temperament. I will just list out some of the major characteristics. I'm sure some of us can relate to some of these things. And then we'll now look at how to support our children based on these characteristics, based on these traits. Number one is the activity level of your child, their level of physical activity, the way they move, the way they play. Because our children just sit, they don't play, they are not active. We feel that is what makes them a very good child. Some people feel so. Some people think that a child that is always all over the place, that plays a lot, is a tough child. That is a child that is not, you know. The activity level of a child is one of the main characteristics that make up their temperaments. Some children are restless. That's also a function of their activity level. They fidget. Ask them just few questions. They read meaning into everything. And most of the time, we are not even conscious that our children are looking at all of this. So, activity level is number one. Number two is their regularity. The presence or absence of a regular pattern, you know, such as the kind of things they eat, the way they sleep, their routine of sleep, their routine of waking up, the activities that revolve around them. Some children, if you don't practice regular patterns, they will struggle. They will struggle. While some children, if you understand them very well and you practice regular patterns with them, it will be easy for them to navigate. So that is why it is important that we must understand our children. We need to. Are we here at all? Are we here? If you are here, give me one of your beautiful emojis. Let me see your emojis if you are here. I want to be sure that you can hear me. I want to be sure that you are listening to the things that we are discussing today. So we've talked about activity level, we've talked about regularity. Then let's look at approach or withdrawal to people. There are some people that there's some children that they don't approach people, they don't jump at people. Whereas you will see some children where the swimming pool, I think last month. And then I was in the water. There was another girl, a very young girl, like my daughter's age, in that water. The way there were two of them. The sister was just looking at us from a distance. My children were in the children's side. But these girls, they came to where adults were, where I was. And then that girl came to me and said, Ma, let me teach you how to swim, because she saw that I was struggling. Yes, I was struggling with the water. She was all over me. I was like, in my head, I was like, can you imagine? Look at this girl. She doesn't even know me. She has never met me, but she was a lovely girl and good enough. The mother allowed her. And whereas there are some children that are withdrawn, they don't jump on people. In fact, they find it difficult. Transition is a challenging situation for them. Another characteristics to look at is adaptability. I can see the emojis. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Shows that we are here. We are here. Yes, I can see it. Adaptability. How these children easily adjust to changes, to new situations. You are moving houses from one area to another area. You are moving from one state to another state. Have you prepared the mind of your child? Or you just want them to just accept it? That is the decision of the fee paying parents in the house. it is time for us to move. Now let us move. You don't discuss it with the children. You don't see it as important. You just move them that way. It can actually affect the temperament of some children. Adaptability. It can modify their reaction. And then the parents keep complaining. I don't know why this child is behaving this way. You never prepare the mind of that child. They're changing their school. You're changing their school all of a sudden. You didn't discuss with them. There was no discussion. You are the alpha, the omega, the beginning, the end. Just made the decision and you just want the child to accept because you feel they don't have a say. Remember, I said a child is a person. A child is a person. They are a person of worth. They are a person of value. They have good reasoning. Because they are children does not mean that they are brain. In fact, by 5 years, the brain of a child is 90% as developed as that of an adult. So a 5-year-old child can reason the way daddy and mommy reason. Let's know that one today. A 5-year-old child can reason the way you reason. Yes, they might need help, but they can actually reason because their brain is developing. But most times we take decisions and we just expect them to adjust. We just expect them naturally to accept it like that. And you must not complain. No, it can't work that way. It can't work that way. You can't raise a child that would adapt to situations that way. What you are teaching the child is in the future, if anybody treats them that way, they should just accept it. Intensity and mood is another characteristic that affects the temperament of our children. The energy level with which a child responds to situations, whether it's positive or negative, is very critical, very important. Their moods, it affects them a lot. Then attention span, the ability to concentrate or stay with a task, whether they are distracted, whether they are not distracted, whether you are making sounds around them, whether there are lights around them. There are some children that they cannot study with sound, but it is only when you understand them that you'll be able to see that part in them. For me, I have two types of children. I have an auditory learner and I have a kinesthetic learner, and their learning pattern is totally different. Understanding that learning pattern has really helped me to help them navigate their journey so they don't have to struggle. So attention span is very important. And also adults. We have adults who have issues with attention span. As we are in this class, we have some adults who cannot listen for 30 minutes. They will be distracted. So when you now see children that are having issues in the class, they cannot sit, we now begin to complain as if adults don't do it. They do it. Adults do it. We just say, oh, we are adults, we can do anything. Your child is watching. So how do we now support our children based on all of these traits that we have mentioned? So for a child with high activity level, most of the time these children are termed restless because they can be impulsive, they can be easily distracted. These children with high activity level, we need to provide a safe and a friendly environment for them. Allow them time to burn off their energy. Give them a lot of physical activity. Don't restrain them on the screen. Allow them. It will really help them. It will bring out creativity. It will bring out the good in them. They have a high energy level. Have you bought puzzles? Have you bought games for them? How do you help this child? So we have a role to play. That is number one for a child with high energy level. Another one is children with low activity level. So we just talked about children with high activity level. Now let's look at children with low activity level. In fact, some parents have termed these children as lazy children, does not want to do anything. They have not looked at the fact that they have low activity level. Some of them are slow in completing their tasks. It doesn't mean that they are lazy. They are just slow. It is their own person. So what do we do to help such a child? Give them extra time to finish their tasks. If you give them an assignment, if you give them something to do, you ask them to sweep. If a child with high activity level sweeps in 5 minutes, it's possible for a child with low activity level to sweep in 20 minutes. You need to allow them, give them extra time, and make your time realistic. We call something smart goals. Once you are setting goals for your children, set smart goals. Set goals that is achievable. And importantly, avoid criticizing the slow pace of your child. Yes, because the child is slow does not mean that there cannot be any good in that child. Avoid criticism. Stop saying it every time. You are too slow. You are too lazy. Is there anybody that have found themselves doing this? Is there anybody that have found themselves doing this before? Let's be honest with ourselves here. I used to do it in the past because my first daughter was like that. I used to do it in the past, but then I didn't understand that. In fact, at the time I was hitting her because I asked her to do something. She didn't do it the kind of pace I expected her to use in doing that thing. She was slow with it, so I will beat her. Yeah, be fast, be fast, be fast, be fast. Sometimes she gets destabilized. Sometimes she will just adjust. Say, before this woman finish me, let me just satisfy her. But no, knowledge sets people free. When I got knowledge, I now understood my child better. So we need to avoid criticizing the slow pace of our children. Let's stop labeling them as lazy. Let's stop labeling them as weak. Let's stop it. Our words matter to these children. As a parent, the things you say to your child is very important. Use your words positively, especially when you have a low activity level child. Use your words to build up the child. Don't break down that child. If you break down your child, you will reap it later. Very soon, you will reap it by yourself, for yourself, with yourself. You will reap it. Why do you want to do that for our children? Children that we claim to love, children that we claim we can give them the whole world. So we need to be intentional. And then we have some children with irregular activity level. This kind of children, we need to ensure that they follow through with routines. They need to follow through with routines. There should be time for food, there should be time to sleep, there should be time to, it has to be documented. Documented. If you really want to get the best out of this child, sit them down, have a one-on-one conversation with them, let them understand why you are doing what you are doing for them. Are we here? Can we hear me? Can we hear me? Are you still here? Are you still here, or have we gone to sleep? Are we still in the kitchen? Okay, I believe you can still hear me. So please allow these children to follow through with routine. If you 8 o'clock is their sleeping time, please make it 8 o'clock. If you say 5 o'clock is their waking up time, make it 5 o'clock. Don't be dilly dally. Even we as parents, we are not consistent. and these children can see it. Thank you for being here. We're not consistent. You just want your child to be the only righteous one. You want to be a devil. That's what we are. We are not consistent. You will say the child should do this at this time. Tomorrow you are not, you've even forgotten what you said. You've even forgotten what you asked the child to do. But these children, their brain development is intact. They never forget. But they've seen you that you don't care. Oh, mommy said we should not watch TV. Is still the same mommy that will give us the TV. You don't follow through with routines. Even you yourself as a father, as a mother, you are not consistent. You have an irregular activity level. But here is your child that has an irregular activity level. You want to beat the hell out of that child, thinking that that is what's going to solve the situation. No, it won't. It won't. It will even complicate it. So we need to allow them to, don't force them. Just be consistent. All they need is your consistency. All that is required is your consistency. A time comes, you don't even have to struggle because you have been consistent. You don't have to struggle with them. Morning time will be the best time of the day, whereas in some homes that morning time when they are going to school is the most chaotic. Everybody will be upside down jumping on themselves just because the parents are not consistent. Thank you, my husband. Well done, my darling wife, for this impactful information. Yes, but now we can see better. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I like the fact that we can all see. Yes, that is the whole essence behind this information. So as I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to myself. So we have children that have issues accepting new people. We have children like that. You change their school, you change their environment, you don't even think about them. You don't even look back to say, how does this child feel about all of this? In fact, for me, while I was even breastfeeding, when I was planning to stop breastfeeding my children, I would already be discussing it. They are still less than 2 years because I breastfeed up to 2 years. I will be discussing it by in the next 3 months, in the next 4 months, in the next 2 months, in the next 1 month, we are going to be stopping breastfeeding. I tell you, for because I know that their brain is developed, because I know that they understand that that transitioning stage has always been seamless for me. I tried it with the first, I tried it with the second, and it worked perfectly well. Communication, communication. You communicate with the child at every level. You communicate with the child at every point. You see the child as very important. Children have issues. Some children have issues accepting new people. Some children have issues changing their environment. Once they do, you see that sometimes they just struggle through it. For those kind of children, introduce new things to them gradually. You are changing their school. You are moving from Lagos to Ibadan. Let the child know that in the next 6 months, this is going to happen. In the next 1 month, this is going to happen to us. Don't just think that you can just do anything you like and you are not carrying them along. In fact, your child is a major stakeholder in your family. They are major stakeholders. The same way we have stakeholders in the companies, in the banks, your child is the major stakeholder in the family. So you must carry them along. Talk about the change that is about to happen. Let them know. Define it clearly. Come down to their level. Let them understand. We are moving. You are this is going to happen to you. This is going to be changing for you. Prepare yourself. It's not going to affect you. We are doing everything possible within our power to see that you are comfortable. You you are going to be meeting new friends, you are going to be meeting new people, you are going to be having new neighbors. Prepare their mind. Prepare their mind. I have had children that struggled because their friends relocated abroad. They are very, very close friends relocated. We just see these things as it's not important. We just see these things as how it's supposed to affect them. Remember, a child is a person. Whatever you want to do it in the best interest of your child. Are we still here? Can you still hear me? So let the child adapt to these changes at their own pace. Don't rush them. So if you have three children, they will not all adapt depending on their temperament. They will not all adapt at the same pace. Let them adapt at their own pace. Just make sure that you are communicating. Just make sure that you understand their person. Make sure that you understand the different stages of life that they are in. With that, you would not struggle with them. Then some children have adaptability issues. Some children have adaptability issues. For those kind of children, you need to set consistent and predictable daily routines. Prepare them for the change in advance, just like babe children that have issues accepting new people, that have issues accepting a change. Expose them to different things at different times. Don't rush them in. I said already that allow them to navigate in at their own pace. Expose them to different things at different times. Don't put everything in their face at once. Then we also have children with high intensity. We have children with high intensity. Please be putting together your questions. Will soon be done. Will soon be done. We have children with high intensity. So sometimes they can express emotions, extreme, very extreme emotions. They can yell, they can shout just to get the attention of their parents. Some children can really go that far. For this kind of children, you must tolerate them. Practice tolerance. You need to be patient with them. You need to be patient. And also model more appropriate responses. Be more positive in your responses to them. Because they yell does not mean that your own response to them must also be must also come with yelling. Sorry. It doesn't have to come with yelling as well. You can't use that to solve anything. Then we have children that are easily distracted. Easily distracted. For those ones, give them short, simple instructions. Remember, they are easily distracted. Don't give them 100 things to do at the same time. If it's just one thing that they can achieve in a day, it's fine. It's fine. Address this kind of children by their name. Address them by their name always. Use eye contact when you are having discussions with them, when you are having conversations, and always have conversations with them. Remember, they are easily distracted. They So you need to do everything within your power to get their attention. Call them by their names. Use eye contact with them. Use the power of repetition. Because you have said it once does not mean you should not say it again. Some people will say they are saying the same thing, the same thing, the same thing all over again. Yes, you have to do it. That is your job. Parenting is a hard work. Parenting is hard already. It's hard. So you need to choose that hard. Choose it for the sake of your child. Remember, I said in our last webinar, these children did not ask to be born. They did not ask to be born. We were the ones that willingly, gladly requested for them. And you know, in that package, you cannot choose. We were not given the chance to choose. I want a calm, collective, obedient children. You cannot. God did not give us that opportunity. Most people did not even think about that. Most children are not even praying towards the kind of child they want to have. That's why those that have youths, singles that are marriageable age, they need to pray for everything. Pray for the kind of child they want. Yes, you can actually pray it into action. These children did not ask to be born, so they can come with any temperament. So we must be ready to adapt. Use the power of repetition a lot for them. And always redirect these children without getting angry. We are talking about children that are easily distracted. Redirect them without getting angry. Don't get angry always. Don't be mad at them. If you keep getting angry because your child is distracted, you need the emotional management course, an emotional management class. You need it. You need it. You should be having it like 3 times in a year. A lot of us hit our children, we say terrible words to our children because we have anger issues, because we cannot even manage our emotions. We already see the way we interact with adults, with our colleagues at work, the way adults relate with themselves. And then you all of a sudden, when it comes to the child, we expect the angel, we expect the child to become an angel all of a sudden. But when you were relating with somebody in the way you were busting, you were speaking angrily, and now you expect the child to now be an angel, a gentle person, all of a sudden, no. Redirect your child without getting angry. Therefore, easily distracted children, give them breaks. Give them breaks in between their activities. Give them breaks. Give them reminders. Remind them, oh, you were supposed to wash the toilet. You have forgotten that every 6 p.m. you wash the toilet. Every Fridays you wash the toilet. It is time for you to do that. Help them. It is not your job to actually say, I'm waiting for you not to do that thing. I will beat the hell out of you. Can you beat hell? Why not beat heaven into them? I will beat the hell out of you. You are not supposed to be waiting for them like last smart people wait for people to fall into their trap. That's the same attitude that we bring to our children. That's the same attitude. We're waiting for them to fail, and then say, I'm waiting for you, I'm going to deal mercilessly with you. You're waiting for them. You can actually help them out. What do you have to gain in this child failing? What do you have to gain? You asked the child to do something before you came, he didn't do it, and so must heaven fall? And we said we want to create a safe and friendly environment for our children. There's no way the home can be safe and friendly with that attitude, because you have made it tough already. I posted, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, that children nowadays are going through a lot. It is a tough time to be a young person. It is the toughest time. The parents are not sensitive. Nobody within the environment of the child even cares to know what that child is going through. Everybody's just going about life as if, oh yeah, all is well and we'll be fine, we'll be fine, we'll be fine. And when the child makes a little mistake, we pounce on them. Our own emotional issues, we now pounce it on them, because we expect that the child should be the one to take away all the troubles that we are having. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Are we still here? We'll soon be out of this place. Are we still here? Are we getting value? Are we getting value? So let me stop a little and see if we are here, if we are getting value. We are not done yet. We are still on the easily distracted child, and I'm not done yet with them. But I want to see, are we here? Are we getting value? If you are getting value, say I am getting value. Put it in the chat that you are getting value. I want to be sure that we are getting value. I am getting value. I am getting value. Value for my money that I paid. Yes, so you pay to be here. You pay to be here. Nobody is getting, oh, my darling husband. Yes, I am. Interesting. I am getting value. Thank you. Thank you for getting value. It's the only Mr. Fajiran that is getting value here. Is any other person that is getting value? I have to pause to be sure that we're actually getting value. I want to be sure that I'm communicating. We're waiting, we're waiting, we're waiting, we're waiting, we're waiting, we're waiting. Are we getting value at all? Are we getting value at all? Are we still here? Or we have dropped our phone now, we have gone to do other things that are important. I know that we have a lot of things that are important. Yes, we are getting value. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I can see one person has also commented that she's getting value. Thank you so much. For children that are easily distracted, I have said give them breaks. Remind them in case they forgot something that you have mentioned. Remember, a child is a person after all. Remind them. Don't wait for them to fail. Don't wait for them to get into a trap. I don't even know why we are setting traps for our children. The children that we came to love, why are we setting traps for them? Is that the way we set traps for our colleagues at work? Is that the way we set traps for our neighbors? Or are we telling me that your colleagues have never offended you? Is that the way you set traps for people outside? Why is it that we have made this thing very tough and difficult for our children? They deserve better. They deserve the best father. They deserve the best mother. At the end of today's session, when we get back, we need to call our children and hug them one by one. Apologize to them. Anybody that is able to do that, this activity, there's going to be a reward for it. Hug your child for 10 minutes and tell your child that they are the best thing that has happened to you in life. If truly that child is the best thing that has happened to you, hug that child. Hug that child. This night, oh, hug that child. Right now, as we are speaking, if you are with the child, hug the child before the child goes to sleep. If they have gone to sleep, first thing tomorrow morning when they wake up, hug them, give them that tight hug, 10 minutes, and speak good words to them. Tell them that they are the best thing that has happened to you. Let them know a child is innocent. Every child is innocent. They are only a replica of what is seen around them. They are only a replica of what is happening around them. Praise them, even for that little task that they were able to do. Praise them. Oh, you saw that they were able to clear their work area. They finished it. They packed their plate to the kitchen. Tell them, well done. And then the child will be wondering, my mommy said well done because I packed plates. That must really, really be interesting. Yes, say it to them. Let them hear it. Let them hear it. They need to hear it. Whatever it is that they did. Oh, they went to school, they came back, all their stationaries are complete. Tell them, well, tell them that you love them for that. Those words will keep ringing. It will keep ringing. Remember, they are easily distracted. Praise them always. Oh, praise them. The minutest tasks you ask them to do. You ask them to wash a single plate, they washed it. Maybe you gave them 10 plates. Out of 10 plates, 2 broke. Still praise them for the 8 that did not break. Yes, I said it. I said it. I know that we don't want to hear that, But I said, I know you bought it with money. I understand. I understand. Instead of beating them for breaking one plate or two plates, hug them. Oh, thank you for not breaking the 10. What if they have broken the 10 plates? What are you going to do? Life must continue after all. So praise them for completing their tasks. And then we have another group of children that have sensitivity issues. They are so conscious of changes around them. They overreact to even normal stimuli. They overreact when they see too much lights. My daughter used to be like that. When they see too much, when she hears too much sound, when noise is too much around her, she will cringe. They have sensitivity issues. Some children have issues with smell, some is light, some is noise, some is texture, some is pain. Some children have sensitivity to emotional events around them. For this group of of children, reduce their stimulation level. If the light is too much, change the light in their room, change the light around them. I've told you already that your child is a major stakeholder in your house. So whatever you are going to do must first be in the best interest of your child. Help them. Sometimes you need to anticipate problems around their environment. Prepare them ahead of it. You already know that this child reacts to noise. If possible, take them away from that environment, or try to prepare their mind. Oh, don't worry, somebody is celebrating their birthday. That is why you have a lot of noise in that other compound. Speak to them. A lot of time we don't speak to our children. We are too engrossed in our own lives, and we do these children as if they don't even exist, as if they don't even matter. Respect their preferences. Respect their preferences. If your child does not like too much noise, don't put that child in that situation every time. You can be aggravating the child unnecessarily. Why do you want to do that? I'm sure you don't want to do that to your child. Respect their preferences. If they don't like smell, if possible, don't use perfumes that are too choking on them. That's why if you use too perfume that are too choking for yourself and you want them to hug you, they won't hug you. And if your child is also sensitive, some people have odors. Some children are sensitive to it. Work on it. It will really help you and help your child, because of the peculiarity of the child that you have is a child with sensitivity issues. So you see that we have work to do as parents. Study your child. Study your child. Understand the child you have. Don't pray to have another person's child. There's a reason why God has placed that child in that family. Appreciate them, understand them, bring the best. Don't look at, oh, Mrs. Lagbaja's son does not behave like this. Look at the way we do a lot of comparison. We make our children to look like devils. We compare them with our neighbor's children. We don't know what that neighbor is dealing with the child. You only look at the glamour, because you see the child outside, it looks composed. You feel that is all with the child, and then your own child is all over the place. You see some parents, when they're outside, their children is trying to play and they will be dragging the child. "Oh, don't play, don't do this, don't do that." No, we are not helping the child. What does temperament teach us as parents? It helps us to realize our children's behavior. It helps us to realize who we are parenting. It helps us to become more patient with our children, and helps them to lower their stress. If there's anything I want to do in this world, I have made up my mind that no child is going to struggle under my watch. No child, not just my own child. No child is going to struggle. No child is going to be stressed. I'm ready to do everything within my power to reduce the stress that children are going through. I can see that a lot of children are stressed. Somebody sent me a message some time ago that the son, a 10-year-old boy, sent him a mail. He's not in the country, he's outside the country, but the children are here. Said, "My daddy, I am depressed." A 10-year-old boy. And that statement puzzled him. He was shocked. What does a 10-year-old know about depression? So that is to tell you that children are going through a lot, and the people around them are not even bothered. They are not even interested to understand them. So understanding temperament actually teaches us to help our children, to be more patient with them, to help them relieve stress. It helps us to foster behavioral development by using teachable moments, by modeling appropriate behavior, even in very, very difficult and unexpected situations. It helps us to know that our children is watching the way we react to situations around them, the way you react to your successes, the way you react to your failures, the way you resolve conflicts with your friends, with your colleagues. They are watching. They learn from what they see. They learn from what we say. To carry that consciousness. Finally, as we are wrapping up today, child has a challenging temperament. Keep in mind that you need to understand them. You need to understand them and respond appropriately, because this would actually help them modify their behavior. Challenging temperaments have trouble adjusting in schools. Their teachers will be complaining. But with a supportive parent, they can easily navigate and they will come out successful. So, on this note, I would like to say thank you for listening. Thank you for being here for 1 hour, the best 1 hour of your time. I would like to entertain questions at this point. Do we have questions? Do we have questions? Do we have questions? I hope I didn't ruffle anybody's feathers. I'm just a nice girl. I hope I didn't ruffle it. I came soft today. I did not plan to ruffle anybody's feathers. I hope that is what it is. Okay. So can we have questions? Do you have questions for me? Have questions for me? I can't see any question. Okay. I can see a comment. Thank you. It's still my husband. Hey. All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, my darling wife, for this time. Thank you. Thank you. Seeing ways by which we can help their temperament, handle their anybody that has learned one thing to do, how they can help their children. Anybody, is there anybody that has gotten one thing or two things or three things or four things? Is there anybody that has hugged their children? Like we said, you need to hug your child. Okay, so I'm not seeing our comments. I'm not seeing our questions. Um, I believe we don't have questions. I would have loved to have our questions. All right, so in the absence of no questions, I think we have done well. We have had the best 1 hour today. Okay, so I can see a question. How do we cope with a child that grew without an information about this temperament of a thing? Okay, can you shed more light on this? How do we cope with with the child agree without an information about this temperament? Okay, so one of the things that is important is for parents to be knowledgeable. Parents need to get knowledge. Even if the child does not have information about temperament, the parents or the adults around that child can help the child to navigate this journey. Yes, they can help that child. And it starts with our own behavior, our attitude, and the way we allow our temperament to override us. So we can actually do that by helping the child. Most times children don't even understand their temperament. Okay, is temperament hereditary? Yes, it could be. It could be, it could not be, depending on how strong the gene is. Yes, it could actually be. I mentioned it at the beginning that it's not far-fetched. Genetics has a role to play on development. So somehow a percentage of temperament could also be gotten from both parents, father and mother, or extended parents, grandparents. Because sometimes you will see father and mother saying, no, I don't behave like this. So my husband does not behave like this. But I don't know where this boy or this girl got this behavior. It could be from the extended family. Remember, you have a family tree, and the family tree is really, really wide. So that behavior can come from anybody, anywhere. The same way they pick some hereditary diseases that runs in some families. It jumps generation. That's the same way temperament is. It doesn't just happen like a miracle. No child jump down from heaven through. So that's the same way it is. Thank you, Madam Evelyn. Great work, coach. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thanks, ma. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I hope with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince you and not confuse you. Okay, I can see a question. If you remind them of their choice and they of their chores and they still do not do it, what do we do? So you need to have conversations. 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 You need to have individual child conversations. Ask them questions. What are their challenges? What are their fears? What are their anxieties? Where do they need help? For me, whenever I'm having a one-on-one conversation with my children, I don't generalize it. I pick them, I ask them questions individually because I know that they think differently. That's why it's important that we must be in an accountability system. That is what the Parent Motivator Academy is talking about. You need to be in the system that will hold your hand, that will help you to be able to understand how to do it, how it is done. So people say that there is no manual to parenting. It's a lie. God gave Samson's parents detailed information of how to parent him. How come did not remember? There's a manual. There are things to do. There are things to do. So it's important to get knowledge. It's important to get skills so that you know how to help your child. So you need to discuss with them, have times of discussion, understand the child, understand why the child acts the way they do. That's why I recommended the book Team Lie, why we act the way we do. When you read that book, you will understand why your child acts the way they do. You will understand it. I've even bought that book for my own daughter. I have her to read it because I also want her to understand her temperament early, so that if she behaves one way, she will know, oh, so this is the way. And if she sees other people behaving another way, she will say, oh, so because of this person's temperament, that's why he's behaving this way. And now I understand how to help this person. You cannot just afford to be working without understanding who we are parenting. No, we are not going far. I can see another question. How can you handle a temperamental child whose parents don't want to see anyone helping out when they don't want to? That is tough. You can only do a bit. You can't do too much. You can only do a bit. Oh, you can only do a bit. If they don't than their parents, that's what we used to say. Unfortunately, some parents don't really love their children. They think they do. They think they do because they are benefits, because they put the child in their house. They think that is the way to show love because they buy junks for their baby as food, because they feed the child, because they give the child beautiful things to eat, because they buy good clothes for the child. They think that is all that it is about parenting. Anybody can do all of those things. Anybody can house a child. Anybody can feed a child. In fact, people can feed your child better than you. If you don't, anybody can buy good clothes for your children. So there's nothing special. The only thing that we have is that this child came through us. Remember, God gave them to us. So whatever we do with our children, we are going to account for it. So if you have a person that doesn't want you to intervene and is not ready to do the right thing for their children, you have to answer. You can't force your way through it. You can't force your way through it. You have to release them. That's why I said it's a difficult time for young people. It's a difficult time for children. Children are stressed. They are going through a lot of emotional trauma, and there is nobody to help them, unfortunately. So that is just what it is. It is what it is. God will help us. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. I sincerely appreciate it. I don't take this for granted at all. I don't take this for granted. Have a wonderful night. Yes, you can continue in the community. You can ask me questions. For those that are not in our community, let me know so we can add you. And if you would like to join the Parents Motivator Academy, our discounts ends this month of November. You get to pay 50,000 naira for 2025. For those that will be paying after November, from December upward, it is 60,000 naira. And you cannot join us in the course of the year. You can only join us when we are halfway, and you must have missed a lot. So you need to take advantage of this opportunity. I'll see you when we get into the community. Have a good night rest and a great week ahead. Bye.